I just encourage you today that as you get out into God's creation, that sun comes up, and there's nothing cooler than watching what God's done and the beauty that He puts in the skies.
I would have left completely content Saturday night, having not seen a single bird, because of the fellowship and the experience and the fun and the talk. There's just not enough words to say about this type of event.
It's actually like there's something there for you, you know, fellowship with a dog. I never thought that a dog would be there to take care of you.
You know, you feel like a brand new person, being able to, you know, speak out, let people know your story and hear other people's stories and know that you're not alone in this fight.
We've wanted to help with this event for a number of years, and it finally worked out this year that we were able to volunteer at this hunt. It was a life-changing experience, and one that we hope to be able to help at for years to come. This is part one of the Peterson Outdoors Ministries Wounded Warrior Duck Hunt.
Hello, I'm Tron Peterson with Peterson Outdoors Ministries. I'm the president and founder of Peterson Outdoors. That was founded in 2006. Peterson Outdoors Ministries is a nonprofit 501c3 organization designed to provide outdoor recreational therapy for wounded combat veterans and their families, as well as youth and adults with disabilities or terminal illness. I've got a history of veterans in my family, with a grandfather that was in World War I, some uncles that were in World War II, several cousins that were in Vietnam, and then some nephews that were in Iraq and Afghanistan. So with that in mind, and with some individuals with disabilities within our family, I already had a heart for those individuals and wanted to create something that would provide an atmosphere of healing in the outdoors for these individuals, as well as be able to share my faith with them.
My name is Robert Quates. I was Army infantry for about 8 years. I spent 3 years in Iraq. My first deployment was from mid-2005 to end of 2005. My father called me when I got home in December and asked me if I wanted to come back and help his unit because they were short some men, so I went back in the summer of 2006 and came home back in December 2007, and then went back in 2009 to the end of 2009, from January to December.
Staff Sergeant Ray Conrad, and I'm 88 Mike in the military, truck driver, logistics, and been deployed 4 times. The first time we were deployed was back in '03, when the first war initially kicked off. And the last deployment I was on was in 2011. Everything I've ever done was in Iraq and Kuwait, and I was the last truck to come through for when they set the gate into Iraq.
My name is Spencer Kelso. I spent 5 years in the United States Army, active as a specialist, and then some additional time in the National Guard as a combat engineer. Served in Bosnia, Kosovo, Macedonia, some time in Bulgaria, stationed in Germany with the 1st Infantry Division for the majority of my time in the service.
October 19th, 2005 was the first time I received real contact. You get to the point where you start to get contact. The first time's real scary. You don't sleep that night, your heart's pumping, you think about dying. After that, you know, it just comes a couple times a day, maybe a couple times a week, and you just get to the point where you know you're going to die. It's just a matter of when. You just sleep through bombs, sleep through a lot of stuff. You know it's going to happen. You see your buddies die, you have to load the body bags, and it's a nightmare, and you're just waiting for your turn. I do have PTSD, which is really rough. I first met my wife, and we started dating, and we started living together, and there'd be nights where I'd wake up, or I wouldn't wake up, but I'd wake her up hitting her, screaming for my battle buddies, and she almost left me for that, but things got better. But I have 2 chipped vertebrae in my lower back, 2 busted knees, I've shattered my tailbone. I got what's called photophobia. We got hit with a mortar. I hit my head on the ground, and ever since then I get sensitivity to sunlight. So I get migraines if I don't wear polarized glasses, which is photophobia, and that happened from hitting my head from a mortar attack.
405, I got hit by an IED and took some pretty heavy machine gun fire. And I'd gotten hit, and it launched me up through the into the truck roof, came back down and smashed crushed my lumbar, 4 and 5. So I've had multiple surgeries on that. I've had 3 surgeries on my lower back and my hip, and I've had a fusion done. And just December, I had for my rods and my hip, I just got that done in December of 14. So it's a blessing to be alive. Some of my disabilities I have are like when I'm out trying to, I can't do PT like everybody. Like you have the regular soldier that can run and sit-ups and push-ups and everything. And I'm kind of struggling with running, obviously, because I've got my little cane here, you know. The doctor told me that my lumbar was like an Olympic-sized swimming pool. My spinal column was an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and it got crushed down into a kiddie pool, the size of a kiddie pool. When I come back down and landed with my flak vest and all my Army equipment was on me, my magazines, my Kevlar, everything, all that extra weight just brought it down and crushed it. So it's a fight, you know. It's a fight every day to be like, I'm a wounded guy, and you know my soldiers are out there running, and I want to be out there with them. And that's the way I was. That's the way I used to be back in the day. I was hard charging, ready to go, and I'd get out there and I'd run. I'd still be hurt. I'd be running and just taking care of business. And then I met a fellow soldier, a wounded warrior, and he says, Ray Conrad, you know, it's time to take care of yourself. It's time to slow down and take care of yourself, because if you don't, nobody's going to take care of you like you. And that's the biggest thing that you got to take care of is yourself. You know, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of anything else.
I was medically retired in 2005 due to back injury and an eye injury sustained while deployed to Kosovo in 2003, but actually left the service medically retired in 2005. So the back injury was basically cumulative trauma from a significant amount of time as an infantryman carrying standard infantry loads, you know, up to 70 to 100 pounds. I have 2 bulging discs, partially crushed disc, a dislocated disc, and a protruding disc in my thoracic spine. My injuries affect me in a day-to-day basis by limiting my flexibility and affecting my endurance. I'm obviously a big guy. It limits my ability to exercise on a regular basis the way I would like to. Every day I have to do between an hour and 2 hours of significant stretching just to be able to be mobile enough to continue my daily activities. It limits the time that I can spend with my family due to pain. You know, at the end of the day, when I come home from work, I have limited mobility and limited stamina at that point, and can't give them the time that they deserve.
When I got back from my 3rd deployment, my first wife, she did leave me while I was deployed. I got home, and it was me and my German Shepherd and Jack Daniels, and you know, I turned to drinking, and things got, you know, pretty bad. There'd be nights I'd sit there with my pistol on my table, just, you know, should I end it now? My dog would jump in my lap and he'd calm me down, and then I decided I needed to get up, I needed to do something. And I'd load him up and go fishing. Tried to do some deer hunting on my own, didn't work out too well. But it was getting out in the wild, getting in the outdoors that calmed me down, got me back to a steady place. And then I decided, well, I need to move on with my relationship. And that's when I went online and met my wife. Ever since then, it's been my best friend, and it just progressed from there. There was some tough times. One instance, I was walking out of the bathroom, I just took a shower, and she scared me. It was a little joke because, you know, we play around a lot. And before I knew it, my mind went blank. About 5 seconds later, I came to, and I had her by the throat and had her arm pinned up against the wall, and that's when she said, things have to change. And we prayed about it, and we worked on it, and it got better, but nothing ever goes away. It's there forever.
Nellie, she's in the back of the truck. She she came right over to me, and I started at the duck hunt. She was sitting there, and I was just petting her, and I stopped petting, and then it was just like an automatic bond between her and I. She just kind of bumped my arm up and put her head up on my leg, and it kind of getting choked up, but
no, you're fine.
It kind of made me relax. It's actually like there's something there for you, you know?
Companion.
Yeah, fellowship with a dog. I never thought that a dog would be to be there to take care of you. Roger was out there. He's one of the Labs for Liberty, and he was out there. He was throwing the decoys back, but I couldn't go in the water, so Riley brought me the decoys. I said, "Fetch it up." He listened to me, and I was just like, "Wow!" So, which is amazing, you know. So he's bringing me the decoys. So it's just amazing the companionship you can have with an animal. It didn't dawn on me that. But they're so lovable, you know. I've had a dog all my life, but it's just something special about these Labs that kind of hits your heart.
My name is Jacob Nold. I'm with Labs for Liberty. We're out of Morgan, Utah. We provide Labrador retrievers for military veterans free of charge, and we also have a vacation home on our property that we have redone, and we plan on using to donate time in that free of charge to military veterans so they can come out and stay and enjoy the tranquility of Morgan, Utah, and see the beautiful country out there. We pick the veteran before we place the dog, and we match the dog to that specific veteran based on that pup's disposition. So what we like to do is we like to find the pups with more of a calmer disposition that we know will work well in a family environment, and with a soldier that just needs that friend next to them. If a veteran needs disability tasks, we'll train that dog how to open doors, turn on lights, turn off lights, take socks off, pick things up off the ground if that particular individual needs. We really focus on the PTSD side of things and what that dog can do when a veteran kind of has a flashback or goes into that mode where he's in that zone, and that dog can kind of be there for him and take him out of that zone. We most recently gifted here in Joplin, Missouri. We taught to speak on clicker command because his veteran speaks out of whisper when that gentleman is in public and he doesn't feel secure in, let's say, a crowd. That dog is able to speak for him and kind of find the people he's with if he gets lost from them, and those people will hear that dog talk and come to him. Another example of that was he was actually buried in the Joplin tornado. We made it a point to train that dog to be able to call for help as well when he just clicks the clicker for that dog to just keep barking, keep barking, keep barking. And that dog will always be by his side. Each and every dog we gift, it not only helps that specific veteran that it goes to, he's around a lot of his buddies that came back with him, and they attach to that dog and they love that dog too. To reduce that 22 number that's really been brought to our attention, that's 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. At the end of the day, that is our goal. If we can reduce that every day, one by one, to get that number to 0, that's where we're trying to go.
Peterson Outdoors Ministries has been just absolutely phenomenal, and this is an outstanding opportunity to come and have fellowship with other veterans that are in similar situations. You know, everybody thinks that their issue is not a big deal. It's not something that anybody cares about. They should just take a knee, drink water, and deal with it. And this weekend has been a chance to let out some of the feelings, regardless about how small or how big. And nobody here is here to judge you. It's been a fantastic weekend. The volunteer support is just absolutely unreal, and you get a chance to sit down next to some guys in a stand or in a blind.
Peterson Outdoors reached out to me and offered me this duck hunt, and at first I was like, well, that's way up in Missouri, how am I going to make that trip? And things worked out. I was able to take time off with work. My wife, she took time off right at our daughter's first birthday, so it's kind of a weird weekend. Our daughter's first birthday, our wedding anniversary is this weekend also, so that was kind of cool that we got to come up and duck hunt. And the ministry, really touched our heart. Some of the stories that we've heard, meeting with other vets, and just having good fellowship and food and laughing and hunting. It really relieves all that stress and tension that builds up over the years. Some people have a way to go out and release that and go hunting and do stuff and fishing and stuff. Where me and my wife live, we don't have those kind of connections. So this relieved a lot of that pressure over the years of a new kid, new jobs, new house, that kind of stuff, and this helps out big time. We can go home refreshed, renewed, and whatever comes our way.
Recommending Peterson Outdoors to another soldier? Yeah, a wounded warrior or another Vietnam vet or somebody that's down and out. You know, if you're feeling down and out on yourself, the hard times are ahead, you know, just turn to God and just pray and, you know, look it up. Peterson's Outdoor Ministries, look them up. They got duck hunts, deer hunts, and if they got room, they'll bring you in and it'll be awesome. You know, there comes geese now. Where's my shotgun, right?
Volunteering at the Peterson Outdoors Ministries Wounded Warrior Duck Hunt was an incredible experience. They have an exceptional group of volunteers that work tirelessly to bring this event and other events together. Jesse Morris of Killer Chefs was there to do the cooking. Buster Holzer of Living Loud Outdoors and Tim Salee of the Christian Waterfowl Association were the guest speakers. The duck hunt didn't go as planned that first day, but I guess you could say divine intervention stepped in, and that final morning of the hunt is one that I guarantee none of us involved will ever forget. Stay tuned next week to watch these three warriors go on an incredible Canada goose hunt.
Big goose. That is a really big goose. Beautiful bird.
Tell me about it, Chris.
Jeez. Dude, that was a ton of geese coming in. That was
When I was 16, 17, my brothers brought me out in a John boat up in Maine, and they gave me a double barrel 12 gauge and with two 3.5-inch steel shot mags in it. And he said, go ahead and pull both barrels back, pull both hammers back, and when you stand up, pull both barrels, pull both triggers. And I dropped the gun in the boat, and I fell in the water. So I had to go get my goose. That wasn't me.
To try to understand how awesome this weekend is, it's like trying to imagine how to smell the color 9. You know, I mean, you just can't do it. It's unfathomable. It's great.
Anything?